everybody, Tony here at Knee High Farms, and today we're bringing you a special video. Recently, my wife and I took our first cross-country trip on the Amtrak Empire Builder train. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and we took it to the Mall of America, which is in St. Paul, Minnesota. And before we could get on the train, we had to kill some time in downtown Seattle. So we did some touristy things there. We went to the Pike Place Market and we checked that out, and then we went to the aquarium because we had about a 6-hour layover before we can get on the train. So as you can see, got a few things here at the aquarium. We got octopuses and jellyfish and whatnot. Here we just took a little momentarily break from the aquarium, went outside, and it was a very windy day that day, so the water was super choppy, but it's pretty nonetheless because, you know, the Northwest is pretty, right? Seattle, Puget Sound, very angry today. Very angry. Seattle. Aquarium. Seattle. Me and the wife. Goodbye. So we decided to go back into the aquarium, and we found this spot here where it kind of looks like a underwater sphere, and probably be my son Michael's dream bedroom. But you're basically underwater surrounded by fish. Pretty neat attraction there at the Seattle Aquarium. And by the way, they added a whole nother building. So for any of you localites out there that are going to be watching this video, check out the aquarium and check out the new area. Highly recommend. So here we just took some random pictures of some aquarium life and whatnot. Here I got a picture of this, or a video of this really cool fish. You see how he's just kind of laying sideways there? I mean, talk about chilling. That's the life. But yeah, he looked like he was dead, but he wasn't. He was breathing. I'm just envious, that's all. And a couple more pictures here. We got some random bird. I don't know what that bird is. My son would probably know. And then they have lots of these aquariums around. Finally, it came time to board our train, and what a trek it was, because not only did we have a 6-hour layover, but we had a mudslide on the tracks, so we had to end up taking a bus up to Everett and getting on the train up there instead of Seattle. But finally, you can see we're settling in our room. It's a roomette. It was $550 each way to St. Paul, Minnesota. And it would have been more, but I got a special. My wife was free, basically, so killer deal. Here you can see we're looking out our room window here, which, by the way, later on you'll see we got some really pretty views out of that window.
In seat number 1. And this also turns into a bed. There's our door.
So my wife's giving us the glorious room tour here. As you can see, we have a door that latches, covered by some heavy, thick curtains so we can block out the neighbors and whatnot and whatever other noise and traffic we don't want to be a part of. So yeah, very nice door there, heavy duty. Just don't smash your foot on it.
Dinner reservations will be done once everyone gets on the train. We have another bus coming.
And, you know, this room is spacious. I mean, I would recommend, you know, if you're a small person, you know, a couple of small people would probably fit in here real nice. But if you're, you know, a taller person or whatnot, it'd probably be only good for one person. The sleeping arrangement is interesting. It's a cot style or a bunk bed style. As you can see, my wife's pointing out the features. We got lights in there, and then see how you look. She's looking up there. That's where I slept. That's the top of the bunk bed. And just to give you a perspective, this is out in the hallway of the train. Now we're looking towards the other cars, and then we're back in our car again. So just to give you a perspective of the train. And then this is day 2, the early morning of me having some breakfast. Menu's pretty good. You know, dinner's probably the best. Breakfast and lunch is kind of standard cafeteria quality, but dinner is pretty good. And then here we got some nighttime video. This is shot pretty late at night. I think this was day 1, middle of the night, early mornings. I think it was definitely before sunrise, but we were in Montana there. Here my wife took a picture of me sleeping up on the top bunk. As you can see, it's very claustrophobic. Here is the sunrise in Montana. As you can see, Montana, the first half up until Central, is very pretty. Lots of mountains, lots of snow, lots of trees. These photos here were a lot of the frozen lakes that we encountered in Montana, because, you know, they just were getting over a 10, 15, 20 below week of temperatures there. So a lot of frozen tundra, which made it real pretty. Here I'm just getting you guys additional video footage of Montana. As you can see here, just real pretty with the trees and the snow, and you got nice fog bank there. Now all that white you see in the back, aside from the fog, is frozen lakes. I mean, it was gold. So all that there, that's frozen water. So makes for real pretty video footage though, doesn't it? Fog bank. Fog bank as we approach Whitefish, Montana.
Yeah, play it. It's fun. It's addictive. And you get to know different areas. You're like, it is. And then you go around and try to guess where it is.
Frozen tundra. Frozen tundra. Zooming into the ice lake. Tony here at Knee High Farms, coming to you today from Montana. Check it out. So, I am here on the Amtrak Empire Builder train. First time I've taken a long ride on a train in my life with my significant other. First time on the train, pretty cool. We have a roomette here. It's good for 2 people. The sleeping arrangement is interesting. You know, it's kind of a cot style, you can't spread your legs out or you'll fall on your face. Bed. But anyways, good accommodations nonetheless. But just talking about entering Montana and the experience so far on the train. You know, going there is pretty smooth. I mean, the tracks through Washington and half of Montana are pretty smooth. It's when we got later in the trip it got a little bumpy. But anyways, hopefully you'll enjoy the views I'll be bringing to you on this video, and just glad I can share this experience with you guys. See you soon. So this is more footage of Montana on day 2 of the morning. As you can see, the sun's already risen, but yeah, just a lot of pretty scenery, as you can see. And again, frozen lakes, frozen water. Didn't really catch too much wildlife on my videos, which was kind of a bummer. I mean, it was there, I just wasn't filming at the time. There we are. The frozen tundra of Montana. I want to live here. No. So one of the things about this train across the country is you take a lot of train stops, and our first one was in Whitefish, Montana. This is a pretty big stop for the Amtrak. A lot of people seem to get off and on here, and here was a surprise. The train does take casualties. Birds beware. Here I'm just getting some video of the front of the train, and I'm zooming in on the casualties there. Yeah, it looks like a chicken and a pheasant were the unfortunate victims of the train. It was kind of interesting, but yeah, we stayed here in Whitefish for probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, enough for you to get out and walk around. Anyways, we're at Whitefish, Montana for a fresh air break. of our train. Pretty far down, goes down pretty far. You see, it's very pretty here. A lot of hills. Train's pretty long. It was probably about 12 cars long, maybe. But yeah, you can see the backdrop of Montana hills there. Just a really nice stop. And even nicer to be able to get out and walk around, because being in that room, you can get cramped. So here, my wife's pretty quick with the camera draw, and she caught some wildlife up in the farm country there. And now we're starting to get into central and eastern Montana, and you can see the snow's becoming less and less. So right here, we're probably just past the halfway part of Montana. There's a couple of stops there. One, I believe, is Shelby. It'll be coming up in the future footage here. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, the snow becomes less and less as we travel more eastward, but still pretty scenery. So here we got some random photos of some pretty lakes there in Montana as we get closer to our next stop, which I believe was West Glacier. But look at how pretty. Mountains, a little bit of peppered snow. Montana's a pretty state in the first half of it. Yeah. And there we are arriving at West Glacier. It was you couldn't get off. It was a quick stop. And you can see we went to our next stop pretty much right away. So, and then here was funny. I caught this old saloon, Oil City Saloon there in Shelby. I had to take pictures, and which I also took a video of it. But this town's pretty much nothing. I mean, it's kind of like the town I live near. You know, there's a couple buildings of interest, but it's otherwise just blah. But that Oil City Saloon, I just had to take a video of it and talk about it. And this is in Shelby, Montana. This one you had a walk break. It was about 10 minutes. So here, I believe we're almost to North Dakota. We're really close. I don't believe we had another stop after Shelby. We might have, but we're getting close to North Dakota, and you can see it's starting to turn flat and brown. So North Dakota is, great state, but not much to see. Yeah, okay, so this was our last stop, Havre, Montana, before we go into North Dakota. Now we're in North Dakota, okay? Or really close anyways, but as you can see, it's just flat. Lots of flat land there, and you know, just not much to see until you get to your destination. Here we are with more eastern Montana pics of the terrain. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure when everything's in bloom, it's probably got a little more color in it. Here, I took a video of the sun. I was trying to get it as close to sunset as I could, but you know, the train turns a lot. There's a lot of angle shifting that goes around with the train and the tracks, the way they're laid out. So I tried to get the sun as close to sunset as I could in this video. So I also took some still shots here of the sunset, just about ready to go below the hill there. Real pretty sunset, by the way. The weather was great. I mean, the weather going there was good, and the weather coming back was good. So no complaints. Here's another video of the sun being close to setting. So I got close, but then the train turned and I couldn't catch it anymore. But it gives you the general beauty of it anyways. So this was early day 3. We had passed through North Dakota and we were now in Minnesota in a town called Rice. So this all here is Rice, Minnesota. It's a couple of towns, probably about 3 or 4 hours away from St. Paul. But you can see I caught the sunrise right above the cloud line there. Pretty. But yeah, we're in Minnesota now here. So we're getting close. But yeah, we slept through most of North Dakota, which, you know, sounds like we didn't miss much.
The
tracks were rough. I don't know what he was driving over, man.
We asked her attendant, she said it's very. She said the tracks are rough right there.
Okay. A few more shots of Rice, Minnesota, and getting closer to St. Cloud and St. Paul. Just beautiful shots of the sun. And this is where we're arriving at our destination here. You know, we're at St. Cloud, and that's the next town right before St. Paul. So we're arriving here. That's Minneapolis there in the backdrop in these shots. And then here we got the Union Depot in St. Paul. Big depot, by the way. But other than that, if I had to pick, I think the best depots are Seattle and Portland. And that's it for this leg. So stay tuned for the next videos to come.